Shit, I'm trying to share this and I
No, I
can't.
don't want you to say that online.
Okay, I can't share.
We're not supposed to know this.
Guys,
We're not supposed to know
no,
this.
no, they're streaming. Right. I'm a little bit irate. What is going on here? Can people actually see me? Like, I don't even know. Okay. What the heck is going on here with this? Are these like filters? Where am I? Like, I've never streamed from my app before. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so Maggie. Okay. Here, tell everyone what you saw.
No.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, look at Tori, and I'll just tell you.
Here, hold it. Let me get my cigarette.
So I went in. I was 20 minutes late. I went in, and they had already started some of the proceedings, and the attorney for representing Justin Biss. The attorney representing Justin Biss said that he wasn't going to be calling Justin Biss to the stand to answer for his protests.
I only found short.
The signatures he's protesting, and our attorney objected repeatedly, and repeatedly the judge shut it down and basically was like, yep, your objection's noted, but we're going to keep going this way. So, yeah.
All right. So you guys, just so you know, just so everybody knows, I was certified to be on the ballot as an independent as Secretary of State for Ohio. The Ohio GOP, a gentleman by the name of Justin Biss that used to work in President Trump's White House. He worked with Cassidy Hutchinson, just so you guys know who we're talking about. Protested 4 minutes before the clock ran out via email. No procedure on how, right? And put things like, oh, we're protesting 65 signatures. So he did that. I advised them immediately that I'd be traveling, and I'd like to know what my rights are and if they could cite the law, rule, or regulation on how these hearings are set. So that way I can assert my rights, right? This is the United States of America, right? It's not the CCP. I was declined that. Actually, not declined, they just literally ignored me. So basically the incumbent who I'm running against, his office, set this hearing up with a retired judge, right? So it's not even an official hearing. There are no rules, no regulations. When did they send us that email? On the 18th telling us that we have a hearing on the... No, that we have to submit. They gave us 4 days to submit paperwork, right? August 18th. While I was traveling, they sent us an email saying, yeah, it was a Thursday. They sent us an email on Thursday saying, here's the judge that we picked. Here's where the hearing's going to happen. And yeah, and then by Monday, 4 p.m., you have to give us all the evidence you're going to use and give us all the witness list. So they wanted us to go through 88 counties of shit to present within, the weekend, while they knew, because I told them I would be away. And in that time, I'm supposed to find a lawyer, right, and bring him up to speed, which costs money. So all of us try to figure it out, how we're going to do this. With a hallelujah, we found a great attorney, but he was busy on a very important case regarding pharmaceuticals, company of interest. So our first call with the attorneys happened on Monday. Monday was our first call with the attorneys. We submitted all the information. We uploaded all the information. We told them that we have no idea how this happened. We don't even know how they picked the judge, right? And the judge is a retired judge. He had to step down from the Supreme Court. I don't know. I heard something that he was in his car and he got pulled over and he had $50,000 in cash on him, because that's something normal at night that you have on you at a traffic stop. But anyway, so I get to the court. Remember, this is my hearing. This is my candidacy. And the lawyers for the Ohio GOP asked that I am not allowed to be there, and that the witnesses, which is this young man was not allowed. And do you want to not smoke because it'll be evidence to your wife? And this is Nick, my campaign manager. We're not allowed to be in there. Oh, sound is gone because someone's calling me. Good sound. Okay. Someone was calling me. I'm sorry. So, so basically, we were kicked out of the court because we're witnesses. It's my hearing and I'm not allowed in court. Okay? I'm making that clear, right? And my attorney objected and the judge was like, too bad, this is how we're gonna do it. And then, what was it? And then they said that Justin Biss, who is the protester, will not be testifying, which is what he has to do because he has to testify.
And our attorney said he's been on both sides
Yeah.
of protests. And then
This is one of my campaign people, Maggie, say hi.
hi. So he said, our attorney said he's been on both sides of a protest hearing, and it is absolutely common practice every time he's done it to call the person who's protesting, the protester, to as a witness to testify to
cross-examine
to
and
testify
ask.
to what they're claiming.
Well, the reason is because some of the signatures that they protested were like somebody else signed for them, and it's like, duh, they have a power of attorney because the person that signed it is blind. Hello, this is the stuff they did.
And they don't want it out.
So the thing is, and the thing is, this should be news. This should be the biggest news. I'm the only independent candidate. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm the only one nationwide that has made it to a statewide ballot. I've got my incumbent picking judges to keep me off, colluding with the GOP because they're scared that I'm going to siphon votes. I'm not going to siphon votes. I'm taking all of them. Okay? That's the difference. And if they think, say I lose now, because here's what they did. Just check this out. They protested saying that they were protesting 65 signatures, which brought me 55 under what I needed, right? 54. Yeah, I know. Well, normally it was that it would bring me 54 signatures below the threshold of the 5,000 verified I needed. Monday, when they submitted their evidence, they only talked about 54. They dropped their claim to 54, which means that I would be 44 under. 10 of those are disputing that people didn't print their names. That's not even something that's part of the law, right? They lost because we have hundreds of others, and we have minutes from counties saying, yeah, we made a mistake, but we're not going to add it on since she's already certified to the ballot. This was a setup to keep me off the ballot. If they think I'm going to roll over, they had access to ballots, to signatures, to everything, to all this information when we weren't, because we're not a party. So there's no equal opportunity. There's no due process. They're making shit up as they go. And where have you ever heard of a hearing where a judge will say, yeah, we don't need the witness, the person that protested. So you're telling me at a hearing, I can't confront the person that protested me. I think that's the covenant, that I have the right to confront the person or the accuser, right? Where is this? Why is nobody talking about this? They don't have to like me. They could say, holy crap, this is egregious. This is not the CCP. Like, this is crazy. I see acus. Acus όχι, τι λένε. Πρέπει να ακούς. Jalen, do you have your phone with you? Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to start taking Greek lessons.
Guys, like, I don't know what to say.
I've always wanted
The point of a hearing, which by the way, is not regulated by any law, any regulation, any rule. They didn't show it to me. I asked them the minute there was a protest, hey, can you point me to what rule, law, regulation you're citing for this hearing? They ignored me. I said, I'd like to assert my rights and know what the process is. They ignored me. And then the Secretary of State, the incumbent, the one that's challenging me, right, decides that they're just gonna choose themselves. We're gonna rocket docket this shit straight to the Supreme Court. Like, I'm telling you guys, even if I go over this hump, I'm gonna sue the crap out of the Ohio GOP and Frank LaRose for violation of my rights. That's the way it is. This is America. This is not the Communist Party. Frank LaRose has really overstepped. I don't care how much World Economic Forum backing you have, how much open society money you have, right? We, the people, are going to take this back. And if I had to stand in the middle to get this done, that's fine. Because, you know, all these people talking about freedom in America, why aren't they talking about this? The journalists were freaking shocked in there. And they probably don't agree. They were just like, I've never seen anything like this before. And I was like, no shit. Huh? No shit. Even the reporters were freaking out, saying, how is this even happening? There's no rule, no law, no regulation. They just pick a judge out of a hat, and then they rent the room. And then the person that's accusing me or protesting that I shouldn't be on the November ballot, right, that I was wrongfully certified, isn't even going to testify, and I can't confront him. Is this what America is about? Like, this isn't even court. This doesn't even count. And it cost us a pretty penny to be here. A pretty penny we don't have. See, this is going to get fixed so hard. We're going to fix this. No, it has to be fixed. Like, you know, normally people go to the Supreme Court, but because I already made known to the judge that I don't know the rules and procedures, they have an advantage because they had access to the records. We don't. We're not allowed to. After June 30th, we weren't allowed to. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, they protested 2 signatures. One of them was for a woman who signed the petition, and then she died. Oh, shit. Hold on, guys. I had to pay for my parking. I had to pay for my parking. I'm sorry. It told me that my parking meter had expired, so I paid for it on my app quickly. You know, I was certified for the ballot. I want to make this clear. I was already certified on the ballot as an independent, right? I was already certified, but the Ohio GOP protested it. Bravo. Okay. So this is egregious. This should be on every news network, regardless of what they think of me. Outspoken, potty mouth, you know, bull in a china cabinet. This is America, and whether you like it or not, we're actually writing history right now, and we're showing the world to just what extent, you know? Like, even Bish was arguing, she's a Republican. First of all, what did I even say to ProPublica? I never register, right? The only time I registered when my president was running and I became a delegate, okay? That's the only time. Because I don't vote for parties, I vote for people. And so they wanted to argue that, and it's like, so he's opining and just suggesting, and he's like misidentifying me. So what did I call it? We call misgendering for genders. What is Biz doing to me? He's political partying me. I mean, this guy's a Democrat pretending he's a Republican, you know. So a guy with a beard and boobs can identify as a woman, right? But I can't identify as an independent. I gotta be either Democrat or Republican.
Where's the switch, the special switch in your brain?
I don't know. Maybe he's in my mind.
See?
Maybe he's in my mind.
When you make that
Thought
decision,
police.
who gets to go, oh, now you've made the decision and you really mean it.
Yeah. So Jalen, you were in there. Why don't you tell everyone what the judge said? I'm bringing it close. Will you speak softly?
All right. Well, I think we want to talk about the exclusion of witnesses. I don't know. I've never been, you know, a witness in any type of trial. I know this is not really a judicial thing. It's called quasi-judicial, but you know, lawyers saying it's standard to have witnesses not in the room. But again, I'm first time
And
experience.
it's my
so
hearing, and I'm not allowed.
Yeah, and so now here's I think I'm going to be called at least by, you know, your attorneys for some stuff anyway. So I don't know. I ejected. It was overruled, and then he's, you know, I don't know. I think Brickler and Eckler knows, you know, what evidence was shared. I'm sure they read all that stuff, so I'm sure that they have a plan to try and strike as much as they can strike from it, or you know, whatever. I mean, they can't really argue on the facts themselves, but they can try and make sure that the facts aren't presented.
Right.
But you know, this is okay because you know what? We're just logging all the due process issues, so I guess you just kind of have to let them do what they're doing so they can finish their. Exactly.
We'll figure it out. I know.
Exactly.
We'll figure it out. So just so you guys, that's Jalen. He's one of the key witnesses. on the affidavits that we filed. These, you know, I ran a campaign completely hands off. I kid you not. I have done absolutely nothing. In fact, my team has to constantly call me and hound me. You got to go there. You got to go there. Because they've been doing everything. Why? Because I needed to show the world that you don't have to be a professional. You don't need professional signatures. You don't need to be legally versed. You don't have to be, you know, I don't know, some Green Beret behind a freaking keyboard. That you could be just an average mom, dad, kid. I mean, Jalen is 19. Obviously, you guys can tell he can't see. He could see a lot more than many of us. And these are the people that are running. I'm just a stand-in. They're the ones that are really running, right? It's the people, not me. And so I left it hands off because that's the way God works. You let things happen, and He guides everything. And like we said, this is a due process issue. You know, as of June 30th, none of us were allowed to inspect records or look at records. And what I was going to say before, there was a woman who signed my petition in April, and then she passed away. And they tried to disqualify that signature after her death. Even though at the time of signing, she was alive and fine. Another person signed the petition, and then they filed a chain of address on July 4th. So it was valid at the time of signing. They were protesting that. They protested my campaign manager's daughter's signature, saying there is no Evan Chengas. There is no Evan. There's an Eva N. Chengas, right? They picked the wrong signatures. They picked, you know, a couple of blind people that had their power of attorney signed for them. You know, this is ridiculous. And they have all of that. And they've been working nonstop since Monday, 4 p.m. Because the issue here is that they did this on purpose. They do not want Americans, red-blooded Americans, just the people, to be in office. Now, okay, albeit, I'm a little bit different, right? I'm not a politician, though. And it's like as if you don't fit into the red or blue box, you're not allowed to have a voice in this nation. That, my friends, is the biggest problem. This is America that's completely unconstitutional. You know, we're supposed to be able to have the freedom of choice. We can choose our gender. We can choose who we love. We can choose what we do for a living. But we're not allowed to help be the voice. They tell us what to do. And that is the biggest problem right now. And this is what we are fighting. And, you know, to all my haters out there, you could hate. What are you doing? You're sitting on your couch, right? You're sitting on your couch while I'm gutting the source of the problem. DHS, you know, while my campaign team was doing all this, we found out just how deep inside DHS is in everything. From petition to ballot box. Hands-on. Not just agreements. Hands-on. Seeing them, recording them with video. These people that you saw in the video, average peeps. Maggie just had, you know, a foot issue. Nick, you know, met him in my church. You know, Jalen, we all met trying to fight mandates and whatnot, you know. He lost his seat at the University of Michigan because, you know, he didn't want to, you know, comply. And it's a good thing. He was going for computer science because he's a math nerd like me. This is why me and him get along. He likes math. He's a math nerd. But man, that boy has a real future. We're talking like justice. This is really bad. We have no idea what's going on in there. You know, I've never heard of the fact that the person that filed the protest isn't even testifying, right? And no one's talking. This should be on every circuit. Every person should be talking about this. That this is how far the GOP will go to shut you up. Mitch McConnell allowed this. No, duh. They're not for us. Anybody in a party is not for us. It's all about money. It's not about the people. It's all about power. It's not about the people. It's all about sequestering the ability to make choices for ourselves and our nation. And this is why they pit us against each other. Black, white, female, male, not female, quasi-male, whatever. You know, poor, rich. They put us all against each other because they're in control. And the more we're fighting each other, the more we're not paying attention. What? You're shaking your head, Nick. Here, talk to the world.
Talk to the world.
Can I have your cigarettes?
This is a J6 hearing. This
What?
is
No,
a
J6 is a fishing expedition to arrest our president.
I'm saying it's like one-sided.
Well, the guy that's in there that protested me worked with Cassidy Hutchinson.
Everybody
so-
knows how this
Did
ends.
he reach up and grab the steering
See
wheel
in
from the
federal
back of the
court.
bus, too?
And we got to do an expedited trial and wrap it up before they start printing these goddamn ballots, and then say, "Oh, you ran out of time." That's their directive.
We're
Their
ready for federal court, though.
They are, but they got all kinds of deep pockets to fund this legal shit. And they're
How are
just
we
gonna
gonna
drag
get
this out
to
as
the
long as they
Supreme
can
God-
until we run out of
God
time.
works in crazy ways, you guys.
Pray for us,
I
guys.
have trouble getting here. You know what I mean? Between
I know.
dropping off the kids and
Yeah,
all the
dropping
stuff
off the
I'm
kids. Like people, like we had problems coming over here. You know, it's a 2-hour drive. You know, people had to take time off work, take vacation days to come here. And he's right. Like, we're ready for federal court. We already set that up. We've been working on that from like day one. But this is it. I can't even campaign because I'm always in limbo. I can't even file my suit because my standing's in limbo, right? This is really crazy. You know, like I am so disappointed that this is being allowed to happen in my country. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And I will not stop. I will take it as far as I can. But the thing is, they're going to be printing ballots. This is why they timed the hearing for now, because it's the 25th and they're going to be printing ballots in a couple days. How fast can I get a hearing in a federal court? How fast can I have a brief ready for federal court, right? Who's going to put the hours in, right? Who's going to put the hours in? And in my state, you can't write in. You have to apply to be a write-in. So it's not about winning the seat, you guys. It's about the truth. And it's about showing how things are being done. This, you know, we already lost. We got to turn the tables. Not in my case. I don't know. I mean, bar complaints are going to fall crazy on this judge. Like, how do you not put the person on the stand? How do you kick out me and it's my hearing and tell me I can't listen to what they're saying? This is the problem. This is the problem. How do you do this? How do you say, well, you can't confront your accuser? The accuser that lied. Like, they already lied because they said she didn't have, they were protesting 65 signatures when they had to prove that shit, right? Because they used the same name twice, so made it 65 when it was technically 64, right? And then they on Monday, after the announcement of the hearing, they filed 156 pages of stuff that the counties, they have access to, but we don't, right? We're not allowed to because we're not a party. So we're not allowed to go into the Board of Elections and ask for information. We're not allowed to, right? We aren't allowed to. The judge paid off. Well, I don't know. That judge that they selected, be careful. Just let's be careful on this. He's not a judge. He's a retired judge. He's actually a retired Supreme Court judge that was caught at a traffic stop with $50,000 cash. And then he resigned. I mean, that's the story I hear. So they picked him. How did they pick him? Was there an RFP? You know, did they have dinner? You know, did they, draw straws? You know, under what law do they do this? Like, this is the GOP. The GOP is doing this. Remember that. It's me versus the Ohio GOP. Okay? So they picked this judge. There's no rules, no regulations. The minute they said that I'm being protested, I'm like, yo, tell me what the rules and regulation are so I can assert my rights. Tell me what the procedure is. How is this going to happen? And guess what? They ignored my questions. If anything, this should prove to Ohio that they should not be voting for anyone the Ohio GOP has selected. Anyone. So, going back to this judge, after we got the letter and that, you know, for some reason this guy Justin Biss, who worked with Cassidy Hutchinson, right? He hates Trump, by the way. He files the protest, right? And he files an erroneous protest. It was so sloppy, it was so bad. But he files this protest, and I ask, what are the rights? What are the regulations? Show me the law so that I know the procedure, right? So that way we can figure out what to do. And then my campaign manager sends him an email and says, look, Ms. Maris is going to be traveling within these dates, so she won't be available. Thank you. So they sent us an email Thursday. They knew I was traveling Friday to Monday, right? Which, as you guys know, I didn't get home till Wednesday. Well, it was Wednesday morning, technically, 1 a.m., because I couldn't get back home. So they sent us on Thursday this notice saying, hey, you need to provide all your evidence by Monday at 4 p.m. How are we going to do that? Why can't we just prep it and bring it into the room? No, we had to give the opposing counsel information so I can help them try to excuse their bullshit. And so this all happened, right? And they're just delaying it. So that way, even if I go to court, they're going to be like, well, it's too late. The ballots are printed. This is where I'm going to put in a preliminary injunction to enjoin any and all elections in Ohio until this is sorted out. That's what I'm going to do. And if the Supreme Court granted it in Georgia for racism, well, they're going to grant it in Ohio for constitutional issues. You see, there's precedent now. So for all those saying, well, it's not what it seems when you enjoin them, it's like, don't you get it? God sets it up perfectly. This is how it goes. There's already precedent. I already know how I'm going to get that TRO. I already know how I'm going to get this done because I've already planned that out. Unfortunately for them, I'm a little computer. But I am pissed. Pissed at everybody out there talking about freedom. Pissed at everyone out there that talks about the Constitution and how much they defend it, right? That they're not talking about this. That tells you who they are. That tells you who they are. And while many may tell you, oh, the GOP is worried that she's going to siphon votes. Hey, guys, Frank LaRose is World Economic Forum. Hey, guys, Frank LaRose was funded by Open Societies. Hey, guys, Frank LaRose is funded by pedophile Wexner. Hey, guys, that's not who you want representing you. And I'm not siphoning votes. I am taking all of them. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. And they know it. He's gone. He's toast. And it's over. And the whole world's going to know about it now because he's going to have to fight like hell. He can fight in the federal court to enjoin the elections. But he's not going to be fucking about in the Supreme Court now, is he? Because this is election meddling on steroids. So this is how we fight. Now, how are we going to fight it? I don't know. I have 800,000 Shiba Inus, and that's all I have left right now after paying this lawyer. So we'll figure it out. It'll come. My attorney's name is Warner Mendenhall. He's a fantastic attorney. He's in Ohio, actually. So what? Are we going? They want us in? Yeah, come to the shade. That's why I moved over there. Wait, let me help you, Maggie. Hold on. All right. So this is something that people, maybe we could like, I mean, the campaign would pay for this anyway, right? It would go through the campaign. I'm just thinking ahead. I'm just so shocked.
You know what my husband says?
What?
This poor campaign doesn't get to do a whole lot of campaigning.
We're not allowed to campaign.
No.
Yeah, that's what somebody else said.
We don't get to campaign.
You don't get to campaign.
No.
And they had an embargo on media.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Associated Press followed me out and they were like, we've never seen something like that before. And I was like, you're telling me. This hearing, I don't even know how it was set up. I know. No, I guess, like, I don't know what to say.
It's almost like you get to the point where
But
you're
how
speechless.
does he not testify? I don't see how a judge would be like, you brought the complaint, but we're not allowed to cross-examine you. Like, how the fuck does that work?
Little Poindexter dweeb sitting on the stand trying to...
I confronted him. I was like, hey, Justin, haven't seen you since...
This is not the arena for our...
I don't know. No, it's not.
It's going to be the next...
Yeah, Nick, don't worry. It'll be fine. We'll rocket docket it. We'll get a TRO and then join the elections. There's precedent with Georgia. No, you remember the Supreme Court of Georgia said no elections until alternate method. Here we're going to have no elections until this is sorted out because there was no due process. I sent them the email and asked them, what's the regulation? What are the rules? How is this happening? And they didn't tell us. They didn't tell us how they picked the judge. They didn't tell us anything. And then they wouldn't let me sit in my own hearing. And then they wouldn't let the accuser be confronted or cross-examined. I mean, this isn't how America works. So we can get this done. We just have to figure out, you know what? I should actually call Grant. Hi.
So I'm going to check back in later on today.
Right. This is crazy.
Well, and yeah,
I mean, how does, in America, the foundation is, first of all, I don't even know how they selected this court. I don't know how they selected the judge. I asked them, the minute I got the protest, I was like, can you send me the email showing me what time you did it? And is he allowed to send it via email? You know, he protested 65 signatures, which technically was 64 because he used the same name twice. And then on Monday, he dropped that down to 54. So it was inconsistent. And none of the stuff he says stands except for maybe like 3. But we have another 30 that were verified after the fact. So we were, well, and we had about 300. You know, we provided all that evidence. You know, and they know that we had more than enough signatures. And the crazy thing is, I don't know how they picked this judge. Like, did they draw straws? Did they, you know, pick him out of a hat? And then the judge would not allow me, and it's my hearing, to be there. And the only testifying that I'm going to do is because Justin is saying that I'm a Republican. Because he decided that I identify when I've never registered. I had this whole thing going on with ProPublica years ago, where they were like, she's a registered Democrat. And it's like, no, I didn't register because look at the dates. It was done after. That was, you know, one of those things that hobbies do. But the bottom line is, you know, so who is he to say what I am? I mean, anybody can identify their sex. I can't. Is he in my mind? Am I supposed to fit in a box? I don't. Because if anyone listens to my shows from years ago, my objective is to destroy all the parties. We should just be supporting candidates and having a voice for the people. So, you know, the only time I registered as a delegate for a Republican was when President Trump was running because I liked him. I liked that he was bold enough to stand against the current and say things that people really wanted to say and didn't. You know, and I don't care if people don't like him. I do. And that's my choice. You know? I just never seen something like this before.
So they're in there right now, and they're going through the attorney to the other side is going through every signature.
And you know,
giving the reason, and then they'll come back and they'll debate that later on. I'm just going to parachute in and out because I've got to do some other stuff.
yeah, we have the documentation. I don't know, did you read our filing?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you see, there was like crazy stuff that they were picking at. And even if the 3 signatures that we were concerned about with like zip codes, we had another 30. We even have minutes from some counties. And the thing, we're not even allowed to inspect the records, but they are. Because they were part, this is, I mean, I think that the next step, if anything happens, is for us to get a temporary restraining order on the elections and the ballots being printed, you know, using the precedent of Georgia that just happened, where they said no elections until a new method of elections is found. The Supreme Court ruled on that. That's where I'm going to take it. And Frank LaRose picked the wrong fight, because I know he did it.
Can I get you to throw that on tape? Do you mind?
What?
What you just said?
That there's
About-
precedent?
Yeah, that there's
Yeah,
precedent.
of course. I'm on the record too. I guess people are hearing me.
Okay. Okay, so I'm speaking with Tori Innes,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
That's my
the
nickname
way
for
you wanna
Terps
go.
Ahuri, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. So what
Hard.
were you just saying?
Well, because this isn't a real court and there's no process, rule, regulation, or procedure, this is a due process issue. I don't even know how they picked the judge, and he's not a judge, he's retired, right? So I don't know how they did it. But whatever the outcome is, either positive or negative, and if it's negative, considering I'm not allowed to confront my accuser or be in the hearing, you know, I'm ready to file tomorrow for a preliminary injunction to enjoin any printing of ballots in any elections, and I'll use the precedent that just happened with the Supreme Court in Georgia to disallow elections until an alternate method is found. I mean, since there's precedent, I'll pretty much get it. And if it's denied in federal court, I'll go straight to the Supreme Court. You know, this is just egregious because I'm not testifying to anything. I was a hands-off person. All I'm testifying to is how Justin Biss claims that I'm a Republican when I never registered as one. And I haven't voted in a primary in Ohio. So I don't see how that happens. So it's egregious, but we'll take it there. And Frank LaRose picked the wrong fight.
Great, thank you very
Yeah.
much. I appreciate you doing that. You have my contact information.
Yes, I do. I have your card.
And thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
I appreciate you. We'll be here. Yeah. I have her card in my bag. I think she's statesman, the one where the chick called me a QAnon thing and I sent her an email and then she kind of like changed it. Yeah, she's a journalist.
State House News Bureau.
State House News, that's it. And then the lady that came out in the hallway to see us is AP. So yeah, we're really, man, our group is right. FSU. I guess Ohio is going to be on the map because we're going to take it all the way. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to report it, but she wanted that quote that I'm ready to get a temporary restraining order so we don't have any ballots until this is sorted. Okay. Huh?
Now they're saying, remember the woman that had a POA?
The power of attorney?
Yeah. They're saying that there was no form submitted, and they suggested the whole page is filled out.
What? They can't do that.
Now here's why it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. He's disabled.
Well, here's the point.
He's blind. So they don't want a blind man signing a petition. Get out of here. Where's my lighter? Huh?
Or should I stand up?
Here. No, here. Hold the phone.
I don't want to.
There you go.
Oh, you're just gonna.
Put it closer to your mouth because you're soft spoken.
Well, the circulator did not knowingly allow any fraud to happen, so it's pretty much. She took at face value the POA. That's what matters in terms of kicking the sheet out or not. Was it, done pursuant to the code to the best of the circulator's knowledge? They don't have any evidence that shows it wasn't. Therefore, I think it's a bad argument.
Yeah. You see how awesome he is? Tell me how awesome he is. Everyone's saying exactly, Jay. Exactly. That's like ADA discrimination right there, too. Like they're desperate that they're saying that blind people aren't allowed to sign petitions. This is how desperate the GOP is, guys. They don't even want blind people signing petitions. Huh? Yeah. Well, I'll be back on in a bit. Been on for like 38 minutes bitching. No, not bitching, but advising. I'm more upset that no one is reporting on this when it's so important. So I'll be on later. God bless everyone. I don't even know how to turn this off because I never use YouTube. Because I'm always like, disallowed. I'll see you guys later.